This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
Welcome back to another episode of the Icon Podcast. I'm your host, Gianna, and special thank you to Sphere Rocket VA for making this all possible. I mean, we have cranked out an incredible amount of episodes in just 2 months with some incredible guests, and it would not be possible without my incredible virtual assistants and my even more amazing guests. And speaking of amazing guests, today we have Shemeika. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Of course, we're super excited to get to know you. So let's start at the beginning. Who are you? Where are you from? And how did you find yourself in real estate?
Sure. Okay. Well, I currently live in Santa Cruz, but I grew up in Ukiah, which is a little town about 100 miles north of San Francisco, California native, born and raised, and moved down to the Santa Cruz area to go to school. And when I finished school, when I was in school, my now husband, then boyfriend, was shopping for a house. And so I went through the whole process with him. And when I graduated college, I thought, well, I want a good job that I can make a decent living at. And I don't want to drive over the hill to Silicon Valley. And I kept dabbling in the real estate market even after we had closed and moved into our new house. So I thought, well, why don't I get licensed? And now, of course, I probably drive more for real estate than I would if I drove over the hill, but I love my job. So I have to say that it doesn't feel like work.
That's incredible. What a cool, little story. You got personally involved with it and you're like, hey, this kind of seems to be in my niche. Like, I'm good at this. Why don't I make a career out of it?
Yeah.
So Shemeika, then how did you come across EXP?
I joined EXP last December, actually, just right after the holidays. I was going to pull the plug and move over January 1st or 2nd. And then I cleared my office out and my broker called and was like, hey, your office is cleared. And I was like, shoot, transfer license. I was like, I wasn't ready for that. But I have a friend who had joined EXP and we were doing a transaction together. And he kept saying, Shemeika, you need to look at the model. You need to look at the model. And I was like, no, I'm happy. And I remembered, so this is the third company that I've ever worked for in real estate. And when I left the first company that I worked for, I remember at that time thinking I could never be more loyal to the company and the broker than I am to myself, my business, and my family. Right. And so after he asked me 3 times, I finally said, no, stop asking me. And he goes, I'm going to ask you one thing. How much have you paid your broker this year? And I'm the type of person that I love my job. So I just work. And as long as money's flowing in, it feels good. And I'm not really analyzing my books. I have people that do that for me. Right. And so I'm like, that's a really good question, actually. I'm going to look. And I looked, and I'm not going to tell you the number because it's enough that I could have had 3 more assistants, or at least virtual assistants. And or paid for 2 years of private college for my now 13-year-old daughter. So he goes, you could pay for college with that amount of money for your daughter. And I was like, when can you meet? And so he said, bring your husband, because my husband is also a business owner, and he and I support each other a lot and just bounce ideas off of each other and make big decisions together. So I brought my husband, we sat down, and the $16,000 cap and the stock options and the ability to bring on and recruit new agents and be rewarded and compensated for that. It was just okay, that's a no-brainer. Right. So that was in June of 2020. And then I said, let me finish the year out and then I'll switch over. And then of course I emptied out the office right over the holidays and got the phone call and I was like, transfer license now. So I think my actual anniversary date is December 28th, a year ago.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. Well, it's kind of sickening to think how much you continue to pay to brokerages, as they like you said, for 2 to 3 more assistants, at least probably a whole team of virtual assistants for that
Yeah.
amount. And it's just like, it's gut wrenching. And so cool that you came over here. And, obviously that was a financially smart decision in the long run for sure. But what keeps you at EXP, Shemeika? What makes you say, I am never leaving this place?
I love the community of people. I love the people that I've met. I like the autonomy and support. So I'm at a place, I've been doing this for 18 years, and I'm at a place where I want to be branding myself. And of course, we always have to name our broker, and I follow all the rules and regulations with regards to that. But I want to be branding myself. I don't want somebody to tell me that I have to look a certain way or do things the way that their brand wants to be represented. And so and like we have an office space. I wanted my own office space. I just wanted to be autonomous enough to be doing my own thing, but still within a community of like-minded realtors and brokers and business owners. And so it feels like a really good fit for me.
Absolutely. No, that's awesome. And feeling like you're home, that collaboration, and not to mention, we've got stock options, rev share, so much more that just goes into everything that keeps the people with EXP. I mean, talk about employee retention. What's the best way to do that other than giving them a piece of the pie, right? So smart. And if I could go back in time, I would probably just be the guy that created EXP because wow,
hero. When people say, do you have any regrets? I say, yeah, my one regret, because I was approached by another EXP agent, like, I don't know, 3 years prior. And I was like, that's my only regret, that I didn't switch then.
Yeah. I hear that almost every episode, Shemeika. Seriously, I hear, I wish I would have done it sooner. So much so that I should probably get that in neon lights.
Yes, you should. Yeah.
It's incredible. And, but people are here now. And, there's a lot of people out there that are worried that, they've missed the boat and it's too late. And we'll get to that point because you've not missed the boat. We can't say that loud enough. But Shemeika, in the meantime, obviously, like, you're married and you're a business owner and you're building your brand and you do high enough production to be an icon agent, and you're a mom. So how do you take care of Shemeika? How do you make sure you're not on burnout mode all the time?
That's a really good question. When I find out, I'll let you know. But
okay, cool.
I have an amazing assistant who works full time with me, and so she takes on a lot of the day-to-day tasks that allow me to do the things that I love, which is getting content produced and meeting new people and being on podcasts. And last week we were at a career fair for one of the local Santa Cruz high schools. And so I'm an extrovert, and the more people I talk to, the happier I am. But I also make time in the morning. I get up early every morning and I go for a walk and I exercise. And when I treat my body well, then I tend to feel great. So I make sure to eat right and exercise, drink a lot of water, be around people that I care about. All those things give me joy. And even if it's not relaxation, it feels like a nice balance with work and life.
Absolutely. No,
but I have no idea how to balance it.
No, it's impossible. It's unheard of. It's a good thing to always aim for, but I don't know if there really is such thing as it, right? More so just the idea of it. Because do I believe in work-life balance? Yes. Do I believe in there's a perfect answer? No. So you just kind of have to make your own version of it. There should be a version of it. It shouldn't be just work all the time, because burnout is very real. Whether you believe in work-life balance or not, burnout is real. So I think it's important to be able to be your best self facing your clients and your family and your team and people you're trying to get to join EXP and all of the above.
Agreed. Yeah. And Sarah and I, my assistant and I, kind of we need time off or whatever. And one will go and do something, either staycation or vacation, and the other will kind of pick up the slack while they're gone. So I think once you get to a certain level in real estate, having an assistant or a partner, somebody that you can take time for yourself and I'm going to say uninterrupted, but the truth of the matter is we're never uninterrupted as realtors. But just taking time. So even if that's going somewhere and spending the day, laying on the beach with your family or swimming or snorkeling or something like that, that feels good. Absolutely.
No, you're right. And an important thing about assistants to me, whether it's a virtual assistant or a real life assistant, whatever it is, I think it's important to understand you have to spend money to make money. Like, do you
Yes.
feel like you've been able to accomplish more and kind of crank up the production that you're able to put out with that assistant?
Well, when I decided to leverage my business, I was doing about anywhere from like 12 to 15 deals a year. And that's like, a little more than one a month, which didn't
Yeah.
feel like I was really doing my absolute best or pushing myself to the limit that I knew I was capable of being at. And so it was scary, but I bit the bullet and hired, at that time, she was a part-time assistant. And I think the part-time lasted about 2 months. And then she was burnt out on the job that she was doing the other part-time, and felt like there was consistently enough work to keep her busy, which I agreed, but I was just scared to dive all the way in and be like, you're full-time, you're my employee. Holy cow, I'm responsible for you. I have to pay you every 2 weeks or whatever. But we set goals and we doubled our business that year. I think we ended up closing 25 deals when she came on board. And the next year we did 36. And this year we're trying to close 48. And it's just kind of been this beautiful snowball effect, because all the things that you need to do to continue to bring in clients is very hard to do on your own when you're managing escrows. And since I'm the lead of our team, I'm the person that's meeting with the clients. I'm the person that's talking with the clients. And if I'm doing all those things, then it's really hard to also be promoting our brand and getting the word out there consistently.
Absolutely.
So
No. Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely worth it. And, I think it's important for other agents that are at the Icon production level. If you haven't already got an assistant, first of all, how are you alive and doing this? Second of all, think of the things that you could do when you're leveraging the things that maybe are taking up your time and aren't the best use of your time, and you're not as efficient at, but they need to get done. It's easy to teach somebody to do that and take that over, and you'll be shocked at the amount of production that you can increase, or your productivity in general, from just hiring off an assistant and passing some small tasks off. It's scary, like Shemeika said. It's a plunge that you have to take, and it's a responsibility that you have. I've got to pay this person every 2 weeks. Here it is, but in the end, it is worth it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Shemeika, I would like next to kind of see the Icon Award through your eyes, right? So the first part we're going to talk about is production. So we don't have to talk crazy numbers, but let's talk, I guess, just how many houses did you have to sell to get to that Icon level? It may be different in California than it is for some of our partners in Canada, or, I guess markets that would be like Alaska, maybe, that aren't as expensive, or, neighbors from you in Los Angeles maybe have a different price point. So it's just a good idea to gauge. And that's one of my good questions.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I wish I had a better answer for you. I know that by the end of the year, we closed 36 transactions last year. Is that right? Maybe we did 32.
Okay.
Somewhere between 32 and 36.
Uh-huh.
And we, I believe, got Icon in October. And so I think maybe off the top of my head, we were at maybe somewhere between 28 and 30 deals by then. And we are in a very expensive community, absolutely. But that's it, and again, like I'm maybe the wrong person to ask about that. Like, we could bring my bookkeeper on and she could answer all those questions. I love my job so much and feel so fortunate to be in this industry and get to do something that I am so passionate about, that, again, like, as long as like it's just flowing, it's flowing, and I don't question it too severely. And so when they sent me the like, congratulations, you got Icon Award, I was like, oh, that's cool. And I told my husband, and he was like, well, what does that even mean? And I was like, oh, well, you have to sell, get a certain amount of gross commission. And he was like, well, duh. Like he pays more attention to that side of the business than I do, which is a nice balance for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's cool to make Icon when you're not really focused on Iconing. You're just selling houses, getting people into homes. And it's, I have met a handful of Icon agents that are like that. It few and far between, but it's cool to just be like, okay, I'm on this track. I'm selling houses. I love what I do. And oh, I have Icon. Cool. What do I do now? And so
that's what I was like. So I have to do something, and then like
what's next? I have to
yeah,
speak?
and then like a month later, there was like a box at our front door, and Danny was like, "Did you order more on Amazon?" I'm like, "I didn't order anything." And we're like sitting on the couch, and he's like, he opens up the box, and he's like, "Oh, look, you got an award." I mean, like that's, I love the people part of the business. I love meeting new people. I love helping people. I love houses. I love decorating. I love beautiful things, like beautiful homes, and sharing beautiful homes with people and really getting to know my clients. And so like really that part of it is just like, oh sweet, that's what an honor. But it's not like a goal. If that makes sense.
No, totally makes sense. And like you said, like you got this award, like things are cool, and you do have to do more than just sell houses to be an Icon agent, Shemeika. So what did you do to give back to EXP culture? Because clearly, you did it, but which avenue did you take? Did you teach courses? Did you mentor? Are you a coach? Did you vet other Icon agents?
I am currently a mentor. And yeah, so that's how I'm giving back. And, people are like, why are you so willing to share all your secrets? And I'm like, well, everybody is going to attract different type of people. I don't feel like there's a shortage of clients to help. And so we really try to have like an abundance mindset in our company, and giving back's always been really important, whether we're fundraising or hosting events to like highlight local businesses. So I became a mentor, and it's felt really good to be able to just like help people and help them get started in the industry. And I think like if you start strong, then you're just going to like have the most amazing elevated career. Because it took me about 10 years before I was like, this is my career. I'm dedicating myself to it. Like the first 10 years, I was like, all right, I'll sell a few houses. It's fun, whatever. And I'm like, no, this is what I'm doing. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So I like, that is the bit of knowledge that I want to impart on the people that I mentor, is like, start strong and just go for it. Put yourself into it.
Absolutely. Excuse me. I've had the hiccups with you, and I've been sneezing on episodes, and now I just choked on myself. But no, I think it's incredible that we share the secrets here at EXP, and it's become a huge part of the culture. And one of the first icons I ever interviewed, they were like, at EXP, you learn, you earn, and then you're returning. You're giving back. Yeah. You expect nothing in return to that. I think it's incredible and an important part of the culture here. And Shemeika, speaking of the culture and everything else, what is your favorite part of being an Icon Award winner, right? Is it that nice trophy that your husband got to open for you? Is it the stock awards that you get back in return? Is it the opportunity to go to EXP Con and shareholders as an Icon agent? What is your favorite part of this, complex multi-level award?
Yeah, I think you nailed it. Like, this is the only company, this is the third company that I've worked for, and it's the only company that gives back to the people that make it work, right? Mm-hmm. So I have such a strong business mind that the part that I love about being Icon is that they paid me to become an Icon. So we talked about a $16,000 cap. And then once you hit that Icon, they give you $8,000 back in company stock. Mm-hmm. So they're continually paying you to be engaged and involved in their company. So that part, to me, I mean, yes, it's money, but you know what? I like money. So there you go.
Who doesn't, really? We all need it to live. And with the price of, houses right now, let alone rent, let alone gas, we like money. We need money. Okay.
Yeah. So that felt really good to be like a part of this bigger picture, and then actually being rewarded for it. And I know a lot of brokerage talk about like, well, we'll reward you for bringing people on, and, we'll take care of you. But at the end of the day, they don't, or, that's the other thing. Like, EXP is so streamlined, right? It's like, I've brought on new agents to other companies, and they're like, oh, we'll give you $500 when they close their first deal or whatever. And then it's like, oh, now I have to go chase you down to tell them that they closed their first deal. And when will I be seeing the $500? And who cares about $500 anyways? But it's just the principle. And like, EXP is just so streamlined that it's like, I never have to tell anybody. I just log into my account and I can see who's doing what and how I'm being compensated and rewarded for sharing this beautiful platform with other agents that are going to also be beautifully rewarded.
Right. No, you're 100% right. And that rev share is an incredible asset, because Shemeika, you get this rev share going, you get that downline going, and you get sick for a month. I had an icon agent I interviewed, and she happened to get diagnosed with breast cancer, and she had to step away from selling houses. And that downline kept her, food on the table, and just was an incredible opportunity. EXP is really life-changing in ways that other brokerages could, write you a card.
Yeah.
But they can't, do anything to keep a roof over your head or those medical bills paid down. And I just think that EXP is incredible for offering the opportunity there, for people to have that to fall back on, or, the stock share to eventually turn into a 401k. It's incredible.
Yeah, it is.
Which is awesome. And Shemeika, now that we've gotten to see the Icon Award through your eyes, which is awesome, let's talk to the rookies that may be watching right now. Okay, so say that I'm new to EXP and I just got my real estate license, and I'm like, okay, I'm coming on board, and I see everything to do here, and there's 150 hours of training a week. There's this, there's that, but I think I want to Icon this year, Shemeika. What would you have to tell me? As a new
hire an assistant. I would tell you to find your niche and to create content around that, and to make sure that you are posting it with SEO objectives and being really smart about your content production. It will snowball, and it will turn into a consistent stream of business. And if you're the one, like, we do a ton of video content, that's like what I love to do. And it allows the public to get to know you from the intimacy of their home. Mm-hmm. And then when they're reaching out to you, they've already decided that they want to work with you. So it really kind of like cuts the fat and allows the right people to come into your life, into your business. So I would say create video content, find your niche, and just like consistently produce, put yourself out there, be the expert, so that when you're talking to people about the real estate market that you're in, you know what you're talking about, know the contracts so that you can show your clients that you know what you're doing, and then find a way to add value to everybody that comes into your business. Like, there is so much competition. If you can't add value to what you're serving, then they'll choose somebody else to work with. So I would say that those are the top things that we really try to do and strive for at Fox Realty Group.
And I think that's really smart, with the social media right now. And I've met some icons that are converting like 80% of their leads off of social media. And like you said, it's because these people are following you, they get to know you. And when it's time for them to buy a house, not only are you at the top of their mind, but they already know, like, and trust you.
Exactly.
Because you were vulnerable and you shared your life and your knowledge and everything else in between on social media. So I think that's incredible advice for the newbies listening. So jot that down, newbies.
Yeah, because what did they said in the beginning, when I first got my license, they just kept saying, like, you can't be a secret agent. Don't be a secret agent. And I was like, what does that even mean? But they're like, wear your name tag. And then when you're in line at the grocery store, talk to people about real estate. That to me doesn't feel really authentically my personality. Like, I don't really want to, like, unless I'm asked, I don't want to be like, hey, I'm a realtor. Let me tell you how great I am. Like, right. I need somebody else to do that part of the promotion. And that's what's so good about having Sarah on my team is I create the content and she produces it. Like, I don't really need to say, like, we're so great because these things. She does that part, So it's just, creating valuable content for people to engage with. And we really try to emphasize entertainment, education, and value when we put stuff out there.
Absolutely. And that's smart. It's a way to take advantage of the virtual world that we're living in right now, right? Evolve or get left behind. That's just what it is.
Yep.
And like you said, I think it's smart that you have like your assistant kind of putting it out instead of yourself, because one, it feels weird to talk about yourself. As much as realtors do it, it does feel weird to be like, I am the best in the market. It's a lot, I guess, more organic to have somebody be like, hey, like, Shemeika is this real estate agent. Come check it out. This is her, posting in third person. I think that's also smart. And it feels a little less forced, I guess, from you.
Oh, I mean, she posts in first person, like I put it out there.
Well, that's awesome. That's so
She's
cute.
on all of my accounts doing it for me, but I don't have to come up with it. Like I've already
and it's less weird
created
for you
video or
talking about
whatever
yourself. Yeah.
images we're going with, and she gets to write about it. So I don't have to think about like, how am I going to put this in front of people in a way that's humble and authentic.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's incredible. And it's always good to have a second set of eyes on content like that, for new ideas and how to phrase it and how to really reach your target audience. And audience. Am I Australian? I don't know what's going on. Anyway, okay. So to bring me to my next point, Shemeika, let's talk about you three years previous to when you joined EXP, right? Because somebody had brought it up to you and you were like, no. And you earlier were like, I wish I had done it sooner.
Yeah.
So usually I ask people, what would you say to somebody sitting on that ledge right now? But let's look at it this way. You could go back in time and talk to that Shemeika who was loyal to her brokerage and didn't want to hear about it. And, just trying to grind it out and sell some houses and didn't want to have to worry about picking up and moving roots. What would you go back in time and tell former little Shemeika?
Not to be scared of change and to, instead of being closed-minded about new opportunity, really look at all of the angles of the new opportunity before you make a decision. And I could have looked at it then 3 years ago and said it's not for me, but I was closed off to it because it was such this like new idea of, a non-brick and mortar and having your online brokerage and your metaverse world, or all of those things were just so foreign to me that I was like, nope, not interested. So even if you think you're not interested, look at it as a whole piece, because once I dove in, I was like, why would I not be interested in leveraging my business and having 3 opportunities or more for revenue stream and for income for all the work that we do? Like, we work so hard as realtors that it just seems like we should be rewarded, however, in multiple facets. And we're so close to Silicon Valley. We get a lot of clients that come from Silicon Valley and they get paid in stock options and plus their income. And it's always been like, wow, that's so cool. Like, we should, that'd be cool if we could have that. And then here it was like presented to me, like, here's this opportunity to have this like tech real estate world. And I was like, not interested. And it's like been what I've been saying for the last 20 years. Like, I want the stock option part of the business to be merged with the real estate part of the business. And so just really explore it before you make your decision, and don't be afraid of change and new, and, all good things come when you decide to make a change.
Right. With great risk comes great reward.
Exactly.
And just putting a pros and cons list out, the numbers will speak for themselves here at EXP.
Exactly.
But I guess if, in the end, you still don't want to come over, then that's fine. But when you're on my podcast 2 years from now saying that I wish I had done it sooner, Shemeika Fox presented this to me, I don't want to hear it. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw this idea. I saw this podcast and I didn't move. This is our warning to you now.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Shemeika, we are coming up on 30 minutes. This has been an incredible episode. Is there anything that you want to leave the listeners with today as we wrap up?
I think just like, be smart with your business, really explore all avenues, whether it's EXP or a boutique brokerage or going out on your own. Make the decision that feels like it's going to be the most financially and business savvy decision for you and your family. And, find your niche and be authentically yourself and produce content so people can get to know you and come to you for all of their real estate needs.
Absolutely. Shemeika, thank you so much for your time today. I think it's been an incredible episode, and I look forward to connecting with you at hopefully Shareholders or EXPCon coming up.
Definitely. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Shemeika. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.